In my opinion, this is one of the most underreported cases in the last 25 years. Let me bring you up to speed. This is Jake Wagner and his family. This is his brother George, his mom Angela, and his dad Billy. Back in 2010, then 17-year-old Jake Wagner starts dating this girl, 13-year-old Hannah Roden. Their relationship is volatile, manipulative, and controlling. Jake is atrocious to her. A few years into the relationship, Hannah becomes pregnant, and in 2013, they welcome a baby girl named Sophia. After a few more years of Jake's BS, Hannah leaves him for good and starts dating other people. In fact, a few years after Sophia was born, she gets pregnant with another baby by a man named Charlie Gilly. Jake starts obsessing over the fact that Sophia is going to be SA'd by one of the men in Hannah's life. There was absolutely no evidence that this was happening, but Jake was obsessed with the fact that that is what was going to happen, and he wanted to make sure it stopped. So he had a plan that he took to his father, Billy. Together, they decide that they're going to kill Hannah and her new boyfriend. They're going to make it look like a murder-suicide. But then they start thinking, well, that's not going to do the trick, because if we only kill Hannah and her boyfriend, then Hannah's parents are going to fight for custody of Sophia. So they come up with the second plan. Let's kill her entire family. So Billy and Jake take this idea back to Angela and George, and all four of them decide this is a brilliant course of action. So that is exactly what they do. And on April 16th, 2021, they kill 8 members of the same family at 4 different locations. First stop is Chris Roden Sr.'s house. Billy, George, and Jake show up at Chris's house. Now, Chris and Dana were married, but were having some marital issues. So Chris was living in his own house, and his cousin, Gary, would sometimes stay with them. So these were the first two victims. Next, they go to Hannah's older brother's house, Frankie, where he is laying in bed asleep with his fiancée, 20-year-old Hannah Gilly, and their 6-month-old baby is laying between them. Jake breaks into the house and shoots both Frankie and Hannah, killing them both. Third stop is Dana Roden's house, where she's living with her daughter Hannah, Jake's love of his life, and Hannah's little brother, Chris. Shoots all of them in the head, and Hannah has a 5-day-old newborn baby laying in bed with her. Later in testimony, Jake says that after he shot Hannah, she fell off the bed, and he picked her back up and put her on the bed so that the baby could nurse off her deceased mother. Last stop is Chris Sr.'s brother, Kenneth Roden. Kills him because, he, I'm sure, is a huge threat to the family. The victim impact statement that you saw at the beginning of this video was Hannah Gilly's mother, and I'm going to post her full impact statement. It was extremely emotional. Eventually, Jake comes clean and tells police every last detail of what they had done. Angela Wagner is sentenced to 30 years minus time served. Jake Wagner, who did almost all of the killings, was sentenced to life in prison with the chance of parole after 26 years. George Wagner got life without parole, which is very interesting that he got the harshest sentence, and of the 3 men that went to commit the murders, he was the only one that didn't actually pull a trigger. The trial of Billy Wagner is supposed to start January 6, 2025.